What I have in the docket, as I've indicated, is statements of witnesses who places accused 3 at the crime scene. That's what I have. Insofar as the device itself, I agree, the device points to Johannesburg, but you need to also consider what the other evidence is saying. It points otherwise, and it's supported by other things, my lord, which I do not want to go to as if we are repeating what was said earlier, my lord.
Mina ke enginako ke ubufakazi ama statement ke abantu abashoyo ke ukuthi umsola wesithathu wayekuleya ndawo ke noma elapha isigameko senzeka khona. Yebo ngezwa ukuthi i-cellphone yona ke ikhomba ukuthi yayise Johannesburg yona ke, kodwa ke nokufakazi ke kanye futhi nokunye ke engingafuni ukuthi ke ngingene kona ke kube ngathi manje sesiyaphinda phindana.
Thank you. This is what accused number 3 will come and tell this court if needs be. There on the 26th of October 2014, he was in a company of, amongst others, accused number 3. No, accused number 4. Accused number 3.
My lord?
You're saying accused number 3 will tell this court that he was in the company of accused number 3.
No,
that's what you said.
No, but I would understand the court to mean that I don't say that. It can't be that accused number 3 was in the company of accused number 3. No, it was just a slip of a tongue.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. He was in the company, amongst others, of accused number 4 when they drove in the morning from, I'm trying to paraphrase him. I won't repeat everything that come and say. Otherwise, his version has been put fully into the record. Amongst others, was in the company of accused number 4 when they left Joburg and went to Katlehong. Sprayed, basically it's sprayed. And that information is all confirmed in the towers that Mrs. Bittlingam came testify about here. That is basically in relation to the movement of his phone.
My lord, I can confirm that I do recall that accused 3 did move from Johannesburg to the Phosphorus area that afternoon, and I think I spoke about the location. So in the afternoonish area, and I can refer to Phosphorus. I'm not so sure about Katlehong, but because I don't have a recollection of that. But in essence, I do know that he moved from Johannesburg to the vicinity of Phosphorus, and is placed there in the afternoonish of Phosphorus, which is correlated not only by his cell phone, but also by the witnesses that we uncovered during the investigation that indeed he was there. And there is a mention of accused 4 that is referring to that he was there, as well as the other accused, my lord.
Umsolo wesithathu ke uzozosho ke uma isikhathi sithola ke etshela yona ke lenkantolo ukuthi ke ngalanga lelo langa 26 October 2014 waye kanye ke phakathi ke kwabanye umsolo wesine uma babesuka ke eJohannesburg beya khona ke eKatlehong straight namathawa ke ayakusho ke noma kayakufakaza ke lokho engikwaziyo ukuthi yebo ke emini ngalelalanga ke wasuka eJohannesburg waya khona ke ePhosphorus. Angazi ngeKatlehong kodwa ngiyazi ke iPhosphorus lokho ke akusho kuphela ke i-movement noma ukuhamba kwawo umakhalekhukhwini wakhe, kodwa ke nofakazi ke esabathola uma ngabe sesiqhubeka ngalo uphenyo. Ngiyazi futhi ke ukuthi kuyasho futhi ukuthi ngayihamba noma endawonye naye umsola wesine. Furthermore,
had some time around the vicinity of Spruit and which is Katlehong. Then from there they went to Phosphorus.
I can confirm, my lord, that he was in Phosphorus area, according to the cell phone location as well as the witnesses, my lord. Specifically in Basutini Hostel, that's where I have a supporting statements to say he was. So I can confirm that he was at some stage in Phosphorus on that day, my lord.
Uthi ke bahambile-ke noma basukile-ke lapho emuva kokuthi bechithe isikhathi-ke khona lapho eKatlehong baya-ke ePhosphorus. Yebo-ke ngakusho-ke ukuthi yebo khona-ke ubufakazi obushoyo-ke ukuthi baya-ke ePhosphorus ngalelo langa lelo eBasotho Hostel.
You say you can confirm that they also went to Basotho Hostel.
Yes, I'm saying according to the witnesses, my lord, but I can confirm that he was in the Phosphorus area, be it the shops. There was a lot of movement, but I can confirm, I agree with the assertion given to me by Advocate Mnisi that at some stage he went to Phosphorus, and I'm saying yes, my lord.
Kuloko kushiwo kumina-ke uyena-ke u-Advocate Mnisi ukuthi-ke waya-ke ePhosphorus noma baya ePhosphorus ngalelo langa ngithi yebo-ke ngiyakufakaza-ke loko nokuthi-ke futhi ofakazi-ke bayasho-ke ukuthi-ke bekhona-ke noma babonakala eBasotho Hostel.
Brigadier Gininda, do not mislead the court. You just said that you can confirm that they were at that he was at Phosphorus Hospital. At Basotho Hospital. Basotho Hostel, yes. That's just what you said now.
Yes, my lord, but I think Advocate Mnisi is missing what I'm saying. I'm saying I can confirm that the phone, and I've said it earlier, places him, the device, around Phosphorus. Then I've said, in addition to that, my lord, I've got statements of people who places him, and I'm talking about witnesses, around Basotho Hostel. This is now independent of the cell phone location, that there are witnesses which are disclosed to the defense, and they say he was in the vicinity of Phosphorus, but they places him around Basotho Hotel. This is now in relation to statements, my lord.
Yebo ngishilo ukuthi-ke ngaphandle nje kwakho-ke na umakhalekhukhwini ombekayo-ke ukuthi yebo wayekhona-ke lapho ePhosphorus, bakhona-ke nofakazi-ke khona-ke futhi ney'tatimende-ke zabo labo fakazi labo-ke bathi yebo wayesePhosphorus futhi-ke eBasotho Hostel.
Thank you. Now, when I put this version in such a very summarized form, that should not be construed to mean that it was only accused alone. You understand? So I just want it to be on record. But in summary, this is his movement. And then they were at Phosphorus for some time, up until they then decided, at all material times, amongst others, he has been in the company of accused number 4. They then decided to hit the road back to Johannesburg. And that can be demonstrated on the cell phone towers as well. When the cell phone tower, when his cell phone was picked up by the Hittelberg cell phone tower at 17:04, indicating that they are driving back to Johannesburg.
My lord, I can confirm that the device in the afternoon, although I do not have the timelines now, but I can confirm that the device in the afternoon does leave Phosphorus back to Johannesburg.
Yes.
However, the evidence that we've collected in terms of the witnesses later in the evening, when there was this meeting that took place at the Basotho Hostel prior to the commission of the offense and after, according to that evidence, it places him in Phosphorus again, although the device was reflecting Johannesburg, my lord.
Uthi-ke babe lapho-ke kwazi kwayisikhathi la khona-ke bethatha isinqumo sokuthi babuyele-ke khona-ke eJohannesburg, futhi-ke ngo-17:04 ila khona-ke nomakhalekhukhwini lokho-ke uyakusho-ke ngoba iqosha-ke ithawa eHeidelberg. Yebo ngakusho-ke noma ngavuma-ke lokho ukuthi yebo kunesikhathi-ke la khona-ke emini umakhalekhukhwini noma-ke ithawa eqoshayo ibuyela eGoli. Kodwa-ke ngobufakazi-ke noma-ke iy'tatimende zabo-ke ofakazi-ke ukuthi-ke ngenkathi-ke kwakunaloya mhlangano laphayana ePhosphorus eBasotho Hostel kungaphambi kwesigameko nasemuva kwesigameko iyaphinda futhi-ke uyatholakala noma-ke wayelapho ePhosphorus.
Thank you. Now, more specifically, photo number 12 and photo number 17. Photo number 12 and photo number 17 depicts him at photo number 12 at 31 minutes past 5 in the afternoon, 14 seconds. And photo number 17 depicts him and accused number 5 at 28 minutes past 5, 39 seconds at George Koch. These photos these are photos that were downloaded from his phone. So it means at that time, and the tower that has got to do with George Koch is that tower there, which is indicated as Ben Rose. Ben Rose Tower touches around the area of George Koch. That is where these photos of him and accused number 5 were taken.
My lord, I don't have the actual correlation. I will not doubt Advocate Mnisi when I say correlation, I'm referring to the actual towers at that specific time of those photos, to say this is the exact location. But I do not dispute, I do have a vivid recollection that the cell phone, as I've said, it does leave Phosphorus and go towards Johannesburg. But to say at these specific times, these two times when photo 12 and 17 was taken, it was showing George Koch. I don't have, I'm not disputing it, but I don't have facts to actually say this is the position. But what is important, my lord, is the time in which this offense occurred. It didn't occur around that time. It occurred between 2030 and 2100 hours. So that time it was before the offense had taken. This matter, my lord, rather the offense in this matter before court was committed.
Akukho-ke engingako-ke engingathi-ke ngiyaphikisa lokho kusho Advocate Mnisi ukuthi lezi ayithombe ezimbili u-12 no-17 kwakuse-George Koch-ke laphayana. Kodwa ngiyazi ukuthi kunesikhathi la khona umakhalekhukhwini-ke ubuyela eGoli. Kodwa-ke okubalulekile-ke ukuthi-ke ubheke isikhathi laphayana ukuthi kwakungaphambi kokuthi-ke kwenzeke isigameko lesi, ngoba sona-ke senzeka phakathi kuka-2030 kanye naye-ke u-2000.
Thank you. Now they had some time at George Koch, where after they then left to the place where he was staying with accused number 5. Just a second, madam. Accused number 3 wants to see. Thank you, madam. Then from George Koch, they took the roads via City Deep, as per the cell phone towers, GP Street, Volauta Street, Belgravia, Hout Street, up until to the place where he is, or then he was staying with accused number 5. But along the road, there is somewhere where they left accused number 3 to go to the place, number 4 to go to the place where he was staying. In other words, it was him, accused number 3, number 4, and number 5. They left together to the place where accused number 3 and number 5 were staying. Along the road, they dropped off accused number 4.
My lord, I can, like I've said before, I can only confirm that the device of, because that's the only section 205 we're able to find insofar as the activities of the date of the incident, the 26th of October, that the device does go to Johannesburg. That I can agree. But as to, and I'm talking about the device, my lord, but as I said, when the offense was about to take place, insofar as the meeting that was held in Phosphorus Basotini Hostel, evidence obtained suggests that accused 3, together with that accused, were at Basotini Hotel before and after the commission of the offense. So this is where they departed, and thereafter they also met there. But insofar as prior to that and the movement of the device, I don't dispute what Advocate Mnisi is saying. The device did go to Johannesburg.
Bese ngikushilo-ke lokhu ukuthi-ke umakhalekhukhwini wona-ke kunesikhathi la khona-ke owahamba-ke khona waya eGoli, kodwa-ke ngesikhathi-ke sokwenzeka noma-ke ngesikhathi phambi nje kokuthi isigameko senze nkathi-ke kunomhlangano eFosforus ufakaziko obukhona-ke kuyasho-ke ukuthi umsolo wesithathu wayelapho kanye futhi nabanye-ke abasolwa, kodwa ukuthi-ke umakhalekhukhwini kunesikhathi la waya khona-ke eGoli, lokho angiphikisani nako.
So in essence, Brigadier, you're basically saying, in terms of the content of that section 205, which was read into record here by Mrs. Vitilinga, you don't dispute anything there?
No, there's no way, my lord. I don't think I've expected to dispute that. The device, and I saw it, like I said, even though it came late, the device clearly indicates that at some stage, my lord, it moved to Johannesburg. And that is why I said that was prior to the offense taking place, and I've got no reason to dispute. That is scientific evidence, my lord.
Anginaso-ke isizathu sokuthi-ke lo babufakazi-ke obulethiwe noma bethule uyena-ke uMsipinki Vitilinga ukuthi ngaphikisana nabo ngoba kuyatshengisa-ke ukuthi kunesikhathi la khona-ke umakhalekhukhwini wawuseGoli.
Thank you. Now, you said, according to you, the incident took place at about around 8:08 in the evening, not so?
But the timing, my lord, that I was able to work out around, it's more closer between 2030 and 2100 hours.
Isikhathi mina-ke engikwazile-ke ukuthi-ke ngisondeleke kusona-ke ukuthi isigameko senzeka nini-ke kwakungu-2030 8 ebusuku ukuya-ke ku-9 ebusuku 2000 hours.
And I'm saying this, my lord, because even though I don't recall the exact time, but the first respondent, they do indicate what time they got a call that there was a shooting incident, and I think it was just before 9, around there. I'm just not sure how many hours. Then if you take their responding time, and then in relation to when the deceased was then declared dead at the hospital, is 21:15. Because we know after the incident he was rushed to the hospital, so by 21:15 he was then declared dead at the hospital. So that's why I'm saying if you take those times specifically, even though I don't have the first incident time, but it is documented in the statements and the report, so it works out between 2030 and 2100 hours.
Noma-ke ngingenaso-ke isikhathi ekuyisona-ke esiqinisekisiwe-ke, kodwa-ke ubheka-ke ubufakazi bamaphoyisa lawo afika kuqala-ke kwindawo yesigameko lokuthi-ke isikhathi abathola ngaso ucingo bebikelwa-ke ngalolu daba lolu olwalenzeka-ke, kanye futhi-ke nesikhathi-ke la khona-ke sekushiwo esibhedlele ukuthi cha-ke umufi akasekho noma useshonile kwakuwu-21:15.
Thank you. Now, the last activity as recorded by his call on the 26th of, his phone on the 26th of October 2014 was at 32 minutes 57 seconds past 8 in the evening, where he received an empty SMS, mobile terminating SMS. In other words, somebody tried to send him an SMS, but that was the last activity of his cell phone record on the 26th of October 2014. The next one is the following morning at 8 o'clock, at 8 minutes past 8. There's also no qualm about that, not so?
No, we were on the same page, my lord. That's what the record says, the section 205. I do have a recollection of that, my lord.
Lokho ke kukhona ke kuma 205 ukuthi ke isikhathi sokugcina ke kukhona abakwenzekayo kumakhalekhukhwini wakhe ku-2032 ngazo ke i-26 kwasukuthi ke ngelanga elilandelayo kwakungo-808 akukho ke siyazi ukuthi i-record noma i-205 isho kanjalo.
Thank you. Now, in essence, accused number 3 is basically saying to this court, I was never involved in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. Basically saying to this court, I was not party to the plot that the state is trying to bring to this court, that Kelly is the kingpin, and then she acquired the services of these other accused persons through accused number 5. Accused number 3 says, was never involved in those activities.
So, my lord, if you look at the evidence that we uncovered during the course of the investigation, it says otherwise. That's the first part, my lord.
Uma ke ukusho ke u-advocate umnisike manje ukuthi umsolo wesithathu uthi cha yena ke nje wayengasiyona ke ingxenye yokubulawa kwakhe ke uSenzo Meyiwa noma ke kuthiwa ke noma kusolwa ukuthi ke uKelly ke wasekhuluma ke nomsolo wesihlanu ukuthi kuhlanganiswa abanye ukuthi ke cha akakwazi lokho wayengasiyona ingxenye yakhe. Kodwa ke impendulo ithi ke kodwa ke ufakazi ke abusho lokho noma kusho okwahlukile.
This, my lord, is clearly demonstrated in Exhibit HH and JJ.
Lokhu ke kuyatholakala ke kulamazibithi ke uHH kanye ke noJJ.
Kahlekeke project yakhe Gininda. You have been referring to Exhibit HH and JJ throughout this your testimony. Has it ever been brought to your attention by the team of prosecutors that what are the implications of your testimony in that regard?
My lord,
has it ever been brought to your attention by the team of prosecutors who are guiding you in this case, the legal implications of your testimony in that regard?
I'm not sure the legal implication, my lord. What I'm aware of is that the statement made, for example, by accused 2 is not admissible insofar as accused 3 is concerned.
Thank you.
That I'm aware. However, collaboration, because that's why I said this is the first piece of evidence, which will then be corroborated by other facts that I will mention. You cannot, my lord, ignore what is contained there. And I'm not saying by so saying it is admissible against him, but I'm saying the reflection or the correlation of what I'm saying, you will find it in those exhibits, but not necessarily saying it is now admissible against accused 3. That's not what I'm saying, my lord.
Lana ke uma ngikhuluma ngayo ke exhibit HH kanye naye ke uJJ ngiyazi ke ukuthi lo mthetho ke uthi ke lokho okushiwo ke umunye ke umsola akufaki ke noma ke akukho ngakwenza ke mayelana nomunye, kodwa ke engikushoyo ukuthi ke uma ngiphendula ke ukuthi ngizama ukuthi ngitshengise ke lokho okuhlanganayo ke kuloko engikushoyo kanye nalokho okubhalwe khona lapho kweso statement.
Thank you, brother. You would further say
I was not done, my lord.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, sorry, I was not done. But then I wanted to say, my lord, in addition, then there were statements that were found of witnesses who then implicates accused number 3 in the commission of this offense.
Okunye futhi bengifuna ukusho ukuthi kune-statement ke eyikhona zabo ofakazi ke abashoyo ke ukuthi ke umsola wesithathu ke waye yingxenye uma kwenzeka lesigameko lesi.
Furthermore, my lord, as I've said, the allegation is that the firearm seized on the, I think the 9th of February 2015 under Cleveland 96 of 2015, according to the allegation from accused 3 himself, was tested and it was confirmed by the ballistic expert that it is the firearm that discharged the projectile that was found at the crime scene.
Thank you.
Okunye futhi ke ukuthi ke isibhamu esatholakala ke kwicala ke lela laseCleveland 962 of 2015 ngazo i-9 zikaFebruary 2015 uma sesithathwa ke manje sesiyobheka ke noma sesiyocwaninga ke kwatholakala ukuthi ke isona ke isibhamu esakhipha noma esadubula ke inhlamvu eyatholakala ke kundawo yesigameko.
And this is why, my lord, I'm saying the evidence suggests otherwise in relation to what accused 3 is saying, my lord.
Ingakho ke ngithi ubufakazi bona ke bukhuluma noma busho okwahlukile kuloku umsolo wesithathu yena akushoyo.
Thank you, sir. Now, he will further tell this court that he wasn't party to what was happening at Basupini Hostel as per the testimony of Constable Zungu.
My Lord, Constable Zungu is, insofar as the investigation is concerned, is corroborated with the statement of Sifiso Kwabeni Zungu, and this I'm talking about now investigation, that it is not only Constable Zungu who makes mention the presence of accused 3 in the hostel. There is a statement of Kwabeni Sifiso Zungu. There is also further a statement of Simpiwe Buthelezi, which implicates accused 3 in particular, even in the commission of this offense. And I seem to recall, my Lord, the statement of Makosonke. I think it's Andres Makosonke, my Lord.
Futhi ke umeqhubeka ke umsolo wesithathu ke uthi ke wayengasiyona ke ingxenye yalokho okwakwenzeka ke eBasuthu hostel nanjengoba afakaza ke noma asho yena ke uConstable uZungu khona ke istatement sakhe ke uSifiso Kwabeni Zungu uSimpiwe Buthelezi okhulumayo ke ngengxenye yakhe ke noma ngokubandakanyeka kwakhe ke umsolo wesithathu kanye futhi naye uMakhosonke.
Further on, sir, needs be, he'll come and tell this court that indeed he knows accused number 4 and 5. He knew them even before the incident of the 26th of October 2014. However, he did not know accused number 1 and 2. He only started to know them on their first date of appearance in this matter at Boxburg Court.
No, I disagree, my Lord. I think in the docket there is a statement. I just will have to remember the name of that gentleman, but he's also a they're homeboys with all the accused. And the essence of that statement is that all the accused in that statement knows each other. There is a statement that was taken and it indicates that the accused before court knows each other. So that assertion is not correct, my Lord.
Oqhubeka-ke athi-ke umsolo wesine kanye nowesihlanu-ke yena-ke uyababona-ke uyabazi futhi-ke ebebazi-ke nangaphambi kwalo-ke ilanga leli-ke lange-26 October 2014 umuntu noma abantu ayengabazi-ke umsolo wokuqala kanye nowesibili-ke aqala ukubazi-ke uma-ke beyobingelela-ke imantshi enkantolo eBoxburg. Akulona-ke iqiniso lelo kuzofanele nje ngibheke-ke sikhona istatement-ke la unomliso oshoyo-ke ukuthi-ke bonke abasolwa-ke la phambi kwenkantolo bayazana.
Now, the last assertion is even confirmed by the fact that even in his cell phone record, this 205 that the state presented through the testimony of Mr. Vintilingam, it is indicated that there were a number of occasions where it is indicated that he communicated with accused number 4, and on a number of occasions he also was in contact with accused number 5. However, none whatsoever has been demonstrated that he was ever in contact with accused number 1 or accused number 2.
My Lord, I will not dispute what is before court in terms of the record, but it is prudent to mention, my Lord, that we did not have the actual 205s of the date of the incident insofar as the other accused are concerned. The only 205 that we have, in other words, the numbers that were at least then was 205 and record was kept, is the one for accused 3, sorry, my Lord. So and I have no reason to dispute that. If Advocate Mnisi says it's not reflected in the records that are before us, my Lord, I think the record speaks for itself, my Lord. I will not dispute that.
Uma-ke kukuthi Advocate Mnisi uthi-ke lokhu akutholakali-ke noma akukho-ke okutshengisayo-ke ukuthi kwakunokuxhumana kwakhona-ke nanjengoba esho phakathi kumsolo wesithathu noma owokuqala kanye nowesibili-ke. Uma irecord lisho kanjalo anginaso-ke izathu sokuthi-ke ngingakuphikisa-ke lokho.
Now, particularly insofar as accused number 4 is concerned, his contact with accused number 4, accused number 3 and number 4 is contact, that is well documented in the evidence of Lieutenant Colonel Stein and Ohos. However, as he would come and tell this court, does not know accused number 1 and accused number 2. Now, further on, Ms. Bay will come and tell this court that he was not part of the conspiracy as it is alleged by the state. Just a second. He was not part of a common purpose that the state alleges in the indictment with regards to the charge of murder, attempted murder, robbery with aggravating circumstances, contravening of the provisions of the Arms and Ammunition Act, as it is alleged by the state in the indictments.
My Lord, what we uncovered in the investigation is that indeed he was there, as I've said, prior to the commission of the offense at Baswitino Hostel. This is based on the statement that I referred to, and thereafter, my Lord.
Just a moment.
Thank you.
Just a moment.
Oh, okay.
Okunye ke azokutshela ke inkantolo ke umsola ukuthi ke yena ke wayengasiyona ke ingxenye yetulo futhi ke nalo umbuso khona ke uthi ke kwakunomcabango noma ke umqondo munye ke phakathi kwabo ke abasola ukuthi ke kwenziwe ke amaqala la asebaliwe ke kulala ukuzabulala kanye futhi nabo ke ukubamba inkunzi thina ke esakuthola kathi ke siqhubeka ke nophenyo ukuthi ke wayekhona ke lapho ingxenye ngaphambilini kokuthi isigameko lesi senzeke nakamuva.
Thank you, sir. My Lord, let me just confirm with Mr. Mncube, there's something that I need to add. I think I'm nearly there, my Lord. Thank you, my Lord. One other aspect that I'm requested to put across the court, I think in a vivid way, is that accused number 3 and accused number 4 met accused number 5 at George Koch Hostel. They've not been with him at Foslores, or when they left Joburg, went to spray Foslores and coming back. They only met him at around 5:30 at Katle home at George Koch. That is one aspect that is requesting me to state very clearly.
My Lord, I wouldn't know what time they met. As I've said, I can only testify insofar as the statements that are contained, and that in the afternoon of the day of the incident they were in Foslores, and then prior to the incident and after, my Lord. That is in relation to all the accused, my Lord.
Okunye futhi ke ngicela ukuthi ke ngisho kwena ke umsolo wesithathu ukuthi ke ba yena ke benaye ke umsolo wesine bahlangana naye ke umsolo wesihlanu eGeorge Koch ukuthi babe naye ke eFoslores bahlangana naye ke eGeorge Koch isikhathi ke ngabuma 5:30. Mina ke enginako ke lana ukuthi bahlangana ngasiphi ke isikhathi lokho anginakho, kodwa ukuthi ke yebo bahlangana ke ngaphambi kwasisigameko kanye futhi nasemuva okwenzeka kwasisigameko.
Thank you, my Lord. Before I leave the podium, my Lord, there are issues that are still outstanding. The court will remember that for some time, we referred to Exhibit XX, and we were promised by Brigadier Gininda that he will furnish us with certain information. I think if I so remember, he made mention of the national standing orders. The national standing orders and some copies of forms that are used at certain police stations where they using them as warning statements. And further on, we're still waiting for the outcome of FFC, that FFC thing, my Lord, which I don't know what it is, but the state promised that it will be made available. I think the state said to me on Thursday last week that Legal Aid South Africa, LPC, the Legal Professions Council of South Africa, said that it will be made available within 3 to 4 days time. So what I'm basically saying, my Lord, is as soon as we get that document, I would then be approaching this court again to reopen my cross-examination specifically on those issues. But for now, my Lord, I pause. Thank you, my Lord.
Yes, my Lord, so perhaps I have answers for that, but I want to deal with the proper context. The first part, my Lord, I've said with regard to standing orders that there are no prescribed standing orders that says a particular warning statement must be used. There are various warning statements and we flow from that context. I then, and this is the sequence events, my Lord, and the proper sequence of the events of how things unfolded, I then offered to say I can assist the defense, in particular with Nisi, by bringing these forms. That offer, my Lord, was rejected aggressively in this court. We parked it. At a later stage, Advocate Nisi came and made the same request to me to say he has now changed his mind. Can I assist with that information? I agreed, my Lord. The court then will recall that the following day, subsequent to this request, when we proceeded, when we were proceeding, I was aggressively, there was an altercation between myself and Advocate Nisi. In that, he felt I should not venture into those areas, and I even told the court that, but there was a specific request made by the advocate, and I want to respond insofar as what I was asked to do. The assertion, my Lord, is that those discussions will be taken through the state advocate, and I must leave it at that. Now it's being said, my Lord, that request was not attended to, so I don't know how to deal with it, my Lord.
Ebengikhulumile ke lana ukuthi ke akukho njena ke obhaliwe phansi noma ke umthetho ke oshoyo ukuthi ke kune warning statement ethizeni noma ke ngendlela thizeni ekumele noma ekufanele ukuthi ke iyenziwe ngakhona ke ngase mina ke ngithi ke ngizolekelela ke noma ngizosiza ke ukuthi ke ngilethe ke lawo ahlukahlukene ke ila khona ke anqaba khona ke ngaze ngavume khona ke uadvocate umnisi ke wasephinde buya ke manje futhi ke cha useshintshe ke umqondo ke angilekelele ke ngalokho lolu olunye ke udaba lona ke mayelana nayo ke LTC wasekuthiwa ke cha noma kwavunyelwana ke ukuthi ke abashushisi ke ibona noma ngiyekeleke ku state advocate okuyena ke umuntu ozosebenza ngabo lo.
As it please the court, my lord, I think the last aspect with regard to LPC, that is good. But with regard to the information relating to the warning statements, it's true that when you offered initially, I said no. But then I came back and said, well, may he kindly assist. And you offered to assist, my lords. So I'm not so sure where was the misunderstanding there, because as I am standing here, I'm still awaiting for those documents to be handed over to us. That is the position, that was the last position that we took, my lord, when we dealt with this issue. Thank you, my lord.
My lord, I'm saying, I attended to the request and I brought the forms as I promised Advocate Mnisi. And then when we commenced that day, when I wanted to start, to explain what have I uncovered, I was aggressively stopped by Advocate Mnisi and told this is how things must go. And I even, my lord, explained to the court that this is not me venturing in things that were not out of our cross-examination. It's what he asked me to do, my lord. And he told me to leave it and it must be communicated via the state advocate. So that's why I'm saying I do not know how best then could have dealt with it, my lord, because I had the forms. I made a promise. I obtained the different types of warning forms and I was prepared to give it to him on that day, and so I was told to leave it at that and it will be communicated via the state advocate, my lord. That was my understanding, and if there's a dispute we can look at the record. That's what was said, my lord.
No, my lord, I don't remember stopping Mr. Gininda to introduce those forms or to hand those forms to us. In any event, arguing now will not mean anything. All that we can do now is, if he has got those forms, then he can hand them over to us.
You have those forms, sir?
Yes.
I don't have them now, my lord, but I can have them available tomorrow morning.
Thank you, my lord.
Yes, they are
I
available.
heard Mr. Mnisi say you mustn't worry about that.
Yes, my lord. That's my recollection.
You don't have to supply those forms. The courts, that's what he said. The court, if necessary, will order that.
That's my recollection.
I think that was the initial arrangement, my lord. That was the initial arrangement. But when I came back for the second time, I said, Mr. Gininda, can you please help us with those forms? Because he indicated that at some police station, they still continue to use those forms. And I said, can you please help us with those forms? I don't remember when he wanted to hand in those forms, and then I said, no, don't worry, we don't want those forms. It would have been very odd for me to have done that when I requested them, my lord. But nonetheless, thank you, my lord. We'll get them tomorrow. That is the end of my cross-examination.
Yeah, thanks.
Actually, subject to the information that would still be receiving. Thank you, man.
Yes, Mr. Baloyi, what time is it?
9 minutes to 3, my lord.
Yeah,